Sardo.
Hi.
Hi, Sardo.
Yes, Stross. Yes, Stross.
Have you been to the PP store today?
I mean, I would sure fucking hope so.
What do you think the PP store sells? But that was an actual location on stream, so I'm curious. What do you think it sells? Note, it's next to the place with all the hookers and the sex
Um,
shop.
I'm just thinking like jars of piss.
There's jars of pee. No, I would like to think
Okay,
that
but
it's just like a clothes shop that sells very normal clothing. Like it's where you get a polo.
it's a brand name. It's a high ticket item. Everybody's lining up to buy PP clothes.
This is goofy.
So we're not talking about the PP store today.
No, we're
We're
not.
talking.
I'm Stross. That's Sardo. This is the Skeleton Crew podcast. We're talking about something actually normal. We promise.
So recently, a manga got an anime adaptation, and that manga was the very deserving Delicious in Dungeon, or Dungeon Meshi.
Yeah, if you're a weeb. But yes,
But
so it was being produced by Studio Trigger.
mhm.
Animated, and oh god, who was doing the music? It's actually someone I know. But yeah, it.
Didn't Bump of Chicken do like the intro or the
Uh,
outro? One of those.
I'm looking that up right now. I think so. It's I'm trying to look up all the materials. It is no, that's who's in it. That's not helpful. Oh yeah. Bump of Chicken definitely did the intro, and the outro is by
Hmm.
Ryokushoku Shikai,
Nice.
and it was Sleepwalking Orchestra for Bump of Chicken.
Very nice.
Definitely. Now, I guess before we get started, Sardo, have you ever read any of the Delicious in Dungeon?
I have, yes.
I
I
have
have
too.
read the manga.
I haven't read
Yeah.
all of it. I only started reading it recently.
Yeah, I need to get caught up, but I have read it. So,
My favorite thing about Delicious in Dungeon is the fact that oh yeah, there it is. It was Yasunori Mitsudo does the in series music. He
mhm.
does the soundtrack.
Yeah.
You would know him from stuff like Chrono Trigger, the original Xenogears, Chrono Cross. Oh, he's kind of a big deal. Oh my god, jeez, this is a lot of very well known things. A point is he's a very well known composer for things.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, I've read. That's right, he's the Xenoblade guy. Yeah, that's how I know him. Yeah, but yeah, he's a. They are. It is a relative. Oh god, he also did some Butler music.
Damn.
Well, it all comes call, crawling back to you.
Listen, a man's got to eat.
I mean, considering the music he makes, he'd be eating. But we need to note that this isn't Dungeon as a manga is a story by I know by what's her name, Ryoko Kui. I think that's how her last name is pronounced.
Mhm. Yes.
And it is a story of an adventuring party in a dungeon who, after a bad run-in with a red dragon, has to go all the way back because the main character, uh, Laos, I believe it's how it's pronounced.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
Laos is a swordsman called a tall. They're called tall men, which is just humans, I believe.
Yeah. Just a guy.
He's just he's a human swordsman whose sister got eaten by the dragon, and knowing that dragons digest slowly, they are trying to make their way back down to the proper level of the dungeon to rescue his sister from being digested.
So there's something as special to note here. The death is not the end. Death here works kind of like RPG mechanics where you can be revived, you can get better.
But the thing is, you have to be in some level amount of whole.
You need to be sort of intact. There needs to be something to bring back.
Yeah. Which is why they're going down for his sister Fallen. She's fallen. She's fallen, Sardo.
And Leos has some friends. Most of their adventuring party dropped out after the dragon incident because they're like, fuck that. We got better offers elsewhere. But he's like, no, I want to save my sister. So he is joined by a few people.
First one is Chilchuck, the halfling. He's a locksmith, classic.
He's a rogue.
He's the
basically
rogue. He's the party rogue, and it's pretty obvious.
And then we have
probably the most popular character, a half elf named Marcille.
We love Marcille.
She's a mage who it seems to be a very close friend of Fallen, so she's very willing to go with Leos back all the way down.
Oh my god, they were close friends.
It's kind of super gay.
She blushes when Fallen is mentioned.
Yeah.
So
yeah. But the thing is, what happens is because of the incident, Fallen, who's I guess a cleric, is the best way to describe her.
Yes.
She's basically the party cleric. She teleports everyone out, but the problem is that means all their inventory was left behind. So all of their money was left behind. So the only way to get through getting through the dungeon, and this is where it's kind of the realistic part, is you gotta eat food. You gotta eat food, and this is how we get our crux of the story. Leos has decided they're gonna eat monsters. They're gonna eat the monsters.
No, but it's a passion he's always had.
Yep.
The others do not share his passion.
Especially Marcille. And by dumb luck and dumb skill, they end up running into a man named Senshi. He's a dwarf who knows how to cook. And so the story goes. Basically, the story is they find monster, they eat monster. Marcelle's like, no. And then eventually she has to eat it because she's hungry.
Because she doesn't really have any other choice.
It's that or die. And then everyone's like, wow, this is actually really good. Because as we learn, if you know how to prep monsters correctly, they're actually delicious.
They're super yummy.
And that's how it's delicious in Dungeon.
The Japanese title Dungeon Meshi is basically like dungeon food. So, yeah. It's
that's it. That's the manga. That's the manga and the crux of the story, really. There's more to it than that, but that's the main principle of and especially the first 2 episodes.
And so, in addition to getting to understand a little bit of the lay of the land and the way that this world works and seeing some adventures going on, we also get to see them prepping lots of delicious food, which I'm here for.
Yeah. And honestly, it's very fun. Studio Trigger might seem like a bit of a weird choice. Because the last time we covered a Trigger show was Edge Runners.
Yes. Well, big change in tone.
Yeah. Mind you, this goes from Imiyashi to Yoshihiro Miyajima. And in fairness, when they originally had an animated short for the manga, it was also by Studio Trigger, so it's not like they hadn't touched the series before,
Right.
but it's definitely it's a bit of a weird show, like by concept.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very odd conceptual idea.
But it's fun. I feel just really like light and happy after watching this.
Oh yeah, it is definitely a show that's very much built around the idea. The whole series is built around the idea of being a bit goofy, but also like you're gonna have a good time.
Yeah. And there's like it does get more serious over time, but there's always this kind of tone of camaraderie, and I think there's a real theme of like stepping outside of your comfort zones and your
Yeah,
preconceived notions of things.
like a big part of the at least the early part of the manga and the first two episodes, admittedly, like we if we're being super real, we're not even
Mhm.
outside of the first two episodes isn't even the whole first volume.
But as somebody who's also read the manga,
Yeah, I mean I'm going off of that. I've only read the first volume. I have the first three.
hmm
So each chapter is like a new thing to eat. It's not a long series, mostly because of do we want to talk about the joke? There's a bit of a joke amongst delicious fans of Delicious in Dungeon.
let's talk about the joke.
The joke is that the manga ended last year. Uh, not abruptly, but
But rather quickly.
rather quickly. It probably could have gone on a little bit longer, but everyone kind of noted that a certain Baldur's Gate 3 came out. And it is very obvious that Delicious in Dungeon is very based on like classic,
Dungeons and Dragons
very
and
Dungeons and
yeah.
Dragons, Sword World for the people who know what the hell I'm talking about. But it's very close to like really old school Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes.
Like not current 5e D&D. I mean like D&D basic.
The old stuff.
The old stuff where like you got to consider weapons, recruitment fees. Like there's a lot of stuff involved that's like very like businessy, which makes
hmm
sense. It's part of the
Yeah.
fun, and it is part of what creates this sort of not tension because this is a relatively lighthearted series.
But stakes. It gives it some
Yeah,
stakes.
the
It gives
stakes
it some things
is
to.
they have to they're on a clock, and they gotta also basically forage for food.
Yes.
It's fun. So the first two episodes it covers obviously the opening. Hot pot. Now the chapter is hot pot tart, roast basilisk, omelet, and kakekiyagi.
hmm
And like I said, everything is named after food or people.
Yes.
But first, so obviously I was like most other people who at least even read a volume of the manga was like actually excited for this because this is the type of series that it's been around a while.
It's built up a pretty good following, and people like it, and it's pretty easy to see why.
Yeah, it started in 2015.
Yeah.
Like it's definitely been something that's been around a while. It's got really lovely art. Like
It's a beautiful art style.
yeah, all the characters are very like fun to look at. Like Chilchuck has just really big ears.
There's something kind of like Moomin-ish about the art style,
Yeah,
a
I
little
can
bit.
see that. It's in the eyes.
Yeah. It's very rounded. It's very like kind of soft features.
It's definitely which really lends itself to animation actually. As we covered
Yes, it
in
does.
Scott Pilgrim Goes Forth. I'm sorry, Scott
It
Pilgrim
takes
Takes
off.
Off. No, Goes Forth. That's one of the volumes of Scott Pilgrim.
Hmm.
But in Scott Pilgrim Takes Off, that rounded style actually really works well in animation when it's done right.
Yeah.
Because those are both series with very rounded faces and very sort of round shapes.
Hmm.
So
And it
yeah,
looks nice.
and it looks nice, especially when we do it well in motion, which is thankfully we have two shows that have done it so well so far in the past year plus.
It's like it's Studio Trigger. I sure fucking hope they would know how to do this.
Well, in fairness, like not every studio should do everything. Some
Yes.
studios are better at some things than others. This is not the case.
Mm.
But yeah, I would say first episode good. Second episode, I would say the best part about the second episode is that once they established everything, it turns out pretty like once you that's when you finally get into the like meat of it, I guess.
Hmm.
It's good. I would say we would both say it's quite good and it's well done. Now, Sardo, who is your favorite character in two
Uh,
episodes?
Now, this is a little unfair because I've been reading the manga. I'm a little caught up with things. I I like everybody. They're all my beloveds. I have a special plate in my heart for Chilchuck. And that's going to surprise you not at all. I love him very much. I like that he kind of goes against the typical halfling personality type because he's a little neurotic.
Yeah,
He's
that is definitely part of it. I'm gonna be super real here. When it comes
Huh.
to halflings in fiction,
Yeah,
is a lot of them usually like either ape Tolkien and just
right.
or they kind of just go for them like all party fun like haha I'm having a good time,
It just yeah, jolly merry little dudes.
which I like, but let's be 100% real. The best version of halflings are Kender from the Kryn series because they're all kleptomaniacs.
Right.
They're all
I,
like, I'm gonna borrow this without asking and maybe return it later.
but
You could shake them
I
and things
enjoy
would come out.
I enjoy Chilchuck because he's doing his little like lockpick rogue thing. And Senshi's like deliberately kind of pushing his buttons in his way. And he's just like, just leave me the fuck alone, get out of my way. And it's like, oh, you just like me for real.
And then you have, of course, um, uh, really like all like I think what really works is the interplay of all of the characters.
Hmm.
Like you have Chill Chuck, who's generally chill until you get in his way during work. You have Leos, who's kind of a freak.
And he's funny because he's kind of the paladin knight archetype on the outside.
He really wants to
And
eat monsters.
he just wants to eat monsters. Like he wants to save his sister, but he just really wants to eat monsters.
He wants both, damn it.
Leos is delightful. He's a really nice main character insofar as there's a main character here.
He's the closest this manga's really about the party itself.
Yeah.
But Leos is definitely like the lead.
He's the focus guy.
It's his ideas. It's his sister. But if we're going by popularity, it's Marcille is she's just an exquisite girl failure of a character.
I just really I enjoy her. Talk a little bit about her, won't you, Stross? I'm handing it over to you.
Sure. I guess as the requisite girl enjoyer, I guess.
As if I don't also enjoy
I
girls.
know, but apparently that's what my job is.
Well, you are a girl enjoyer.
This is not wrong. But Marcille is as we know, a half elf mage. She's kind of like she's very clearly like good at being a mage. And she's one of the original adventuring party, obviously. She's just really unwilling to eat monsters because it's like goes against sort of like how she was taught things. The second episode where they talk about harvesting mandrake root, I think is like the really like point of the manga is kind of summed up in that one part.
Yeah.
Where it's like Marcille is taught a way, but like it's very obvious that way is very impractical. Especially when you need to harvest a lot of them at once. But we also learn that, hey, there's an advantage to harvesting it in a way that isn't exactly very proper.
And that's something else I kind of like about this, in that it's like, you might be kind of misguided in your raising. You might have been taught some things that aren't necessarily always correct or the best way to do things, but it doesn't mean that it's out and out wrong.
Yeah.
It's just different.
Yeah. And it's what's great about it is like Marcille is also just like kind of a failure.
Oh, she's a total failure.
She's klutzy, she's unwilling to do things. But
she's got the disposition of a chihuahua.
Kinda. But it's very obvious that like she's a very powerful mage.
Yes.
Like very obviously like she doesn't get to show it off in the first two episodes, but it's quite clear that they wouldn't have gotten that far without her. And they outright state that.
Yeah.
And it's definitely like she's fun. What makes her fun is that she's goofy, but also like you get it.
She's very empathetic.
Mm-hmm. And it's like she's scared of being a burden on her party because like outside of magic she can't really do a whole lot.
And she says exactly that much. She doesn't want to be called a burden.
Which she isn't, but it's also very clear like she also is like not really wanting to eat monsters because reasons. It goes against what she knows, and she's a bit scared of it.
Because it's different, and it's weird to her.
And admittedly, like, you wouldn't think about eating monsters if you're most people.
I mean, you wouldn't want to eat a giant scorpion normally, would you? I don't know, maybe you would.
No, not really. Not a large one, maybe a little one.
Maybe just a little one.
Yeah. But, yeah, I would say first two episodes, if this was at least a proof of concept, works perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure. This is not, unlike usual, this is a weekly show, so we only watched the two episodes that's been released.
Yeah.
And, I would say, as a 2-episode, like, proof of concept, fantastic.
Yes.
Out of the parts that we watched, which one was your favorite dish?
Oh, shit.
No, I will remind you which ones we saw. We saw hot pot, tart, roast basilisk, omelet, and kakakiyagi.
I really liked the hot pot, and I really liked the roast basilisk.
Because those are good. I can't believe we forgot to talk about senshi.
Oh,
wow.
the best man ever. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, most handsome man alive. Senshi is a dwarf that is the expert on cooking monsters. Like this is his
voiced by Mr.
Sun Won Cho himself.
Song Won Cho. Yeah, Mr. Pro ZD voices.
He is, and we should mention this. It's that his whole character is that he just kind of shows up. He's like, "You're cooking it wrong. Here, let me show you how it's done." And that's how they meet this guy. He just shows up.
He's just there. He's
He
been doing this for 10 years.
Yeah, he's this mysterious. He is like, you gotta have a balanced diet, plenty of sleep, and plenty of exercise.
He's the man who shows up in everybody's life to improve it. He's perfect.
He's the world's most perfect man, and he's a dwarf. The big
He's
bushy
beautiful.
beard. What's really funny about him is that we do mean he literally just shows up.
He's just there in the dungeon.
He was just there that day, and he's like, "What if I give you lessons?" And it's just so funny because he's just like large, like beefy dwarf man. And he's just like, "You're cooking your scorpion wrong. Here, let me show you how it's done."
After Leos nearly gives himself the shits eating scorpion poison because that's the book said it was okay.
The book that he's reading off of isn't wrong. It's just one of those things where it's just like, it tells you that it's edible, not that how you eat it,
Yeah.
not how to make it taste good. And that's how they do it. So yeah, it's fun.
But I'm really, really enjoying myself so far. I think this is a hoot and a holler and a half. It's a really quick watch. The
Oh yeah.
episodes go by very fast.
It needs to be noted that the episodes are the original manga chapters were sort of split up into like different recipes.
Yeah.
And the episodes are just covering a certain amount of recipes per episode. And like we can tell you the next episode is going to be about eating living armor. Yes, that's edible.
Yeah. Yeah.
All things are. That's actually one of my favorites. I'm dead serious. Of the first part, like the whole living armor thing is just somebody because it turns out to be clams. The clams, Leos. You can eat them. But yeah, I would say if you are hanging out and you need like a new show to watch and you want a weekly, and I'm glad this is a weekly.
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure how much into the discourse you are, Sardo. I know a bunch of anime press people. Like
I am not into the discourse at all. I don't know the discourse.
well, no, the discourse was on sort of what's better, being broadcasted weekly or being just binge dumped. And most people agree that it's better to be released by week so you have time to digest it, think it over. The memes are better.
Yes.
And I say discourse in the sense that it's something that is discussed. But I think most people go like, actually, releasing weekly is better for long-term engagement because it lets people like watch the episode, like familiarize with them, look it over, like find the really funny screen caps.
Yeah.
There's a great one in the second episode with Marcille just giving this like one look of like, you kidding me? It's just straight up the same. It's just a colored version from the manga, and it's the best face. She's just so disappointed in people.
There's
It's
some
great.
really delightful things in there that I can already see. It's like, oh, that's from the manga.
Yeah. It's a great example of knowing when to use the manga panels and when to just not.
Yeah.
Like sometimes like with an adaptation, you get like it's too close to the manga or too close to the original paneling, so it's like kind of choppy and weird. Or
Yeah.
you go way too far into where it's basically emotion comic. I'm still really mad about Way of the House Husband.
I'm pissed about
I am
that.
so mad. For those who don't know, a series that's great despite having only one joke. It never gets old.
It's the best joke in the world. That's why.
It basically is one of the best jokes on the planet because the Way of the House Husband should not be funny for as long as it has been. I really like your dog. Can I pet it?
Yours is beast too. Cool if I pet him.
Yeah. For those who don't know, Way of the House Husband is a different manga, which is about a retired Yakuza like legend, like all-time great tough guy who became a house husband because he fell in love with this like goofy lady.
Just a normal lady.
Yeah, she's just normal. He's deeply in love and he's learned how to be a great house husband.
Using his Yakuza skills.
Yep. The live action version is great though. I forget who plays him.
Oh,
Let me look it up.
damn it! I should know his name. I love him.
For starters, I'm looking it up now because I know Tatsu is portrayed by Hiroshi Tamaki. That's his name.
God, yeah. He was also in the Yakuza spin-off,
The man
yeah.
that erased his name.
No. The fucking anyway, the one with Higami. Anyway.
Lost Judgment.
Lost Judgment. That's the bitch.
Don't worry, I'm on his filmography page. Don't worry, I can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's
But-
great.
Anyway,
Yeah, 'cause
we're getting off.
No, wait, I'm hold on. I'm bringing it all back. Don't worry. He was the reason why I'm bringing this up is because that was adapted where it's like straight up just basically a motion comic,
Yes.
and that sucks.
It was not very fun. I did not really like that very much.
Because it's just like at that point you just ask yourself, why am I not just reading the damn thing?
Mm-hmm. But this, yeah.
This is a good adaptation. It knows when, like, no, the joke here is it's just her face, so we're just gonna have like a 30-second like, you're staying here to look at her be disappointed in Leos, and it's gonna be hilarious.
And she has some great faces.
She does. The point is, great adaptation. So far, so good. I mean, Studio Trigger doesn't miss too often. It happens from time to time. No one bats 1,000.
Everybody has a few misses.
Yeah, but definitely very fun. We really liked the first 2 episodes. Like the English dub, pretty good. Has some really interesting people in it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like, you know, you have veteran voice actor Casey Mongillo. I think that's how his last name. I'm sorry, their last name is pronounced. That is my bad. Casey, one of the many people who I always remember being on Newgrounds, and it's super weird.
Ah, yes.
Friend of Kira Buckland.
Mm-hmm.
Also in what? In a whole bunch of stuff. And obviously Sungwon Cho, who we already mentioned, plays Senshi. But Emily Rudd is Marcille. Pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The most famous thing I know that she's been in so far has been One Piece, but live action One Piece specifically.
And she does a great job here. She really, I think, kind of captures the tone.
Yeah. And the other one is one of like the Smosh guys apparently. Oh
damn! Really?
Yeah, Damien Haas.
Huh.
He plays Leos. I mean, who would have guessed?
How about that?
Yeah. Follow your dreams, everybody. I guess. Follow your dreams. Eat monsters.
That is one of my dreams, actually.
Do you mean eat monsters or eat monsters?
Yes.
That's the spirit. But yeah,
But Stross, overall, what's your view of this? How are you feeling about upcoming episodes
I
if
am
this is the tone it's setting?
if it's gonna all be as good as the first two episodes, I'm gonna be really happy with it. Like early contender for show of the year.
Yes.
And obviously, I'm not going to state it's going to stay that way, but so far, really good for like first two steps.
I'm just having a good gosh darn time.
Yeah, it's really fun. It's a good little comedy, and it's about eating monsters. I know we're kind of repeating ourselves a little bit. There was only 2 episodes, cut us some slack. We had to do something this week. Next week is the opposite preview. We're gonna be talking about that for probably an hour plus.
We're gearing up.
We're gearing up for what's gonna be our second of 3 videos on infinite wealth.
Oh boy.
I mean, we had a look ahead. We have a preview, and then we're gonna have how emotionally destroyed are we by infinite wealth? We don't know yet, but this made us happy.
That's going to be a day after my. Oh, no, that's next week. That's not a day after my birthday. What am I talking about? That's 2 weeks from now. I can't read calendars. Never mind.
No, the game comes out, or episode is recorded next week.
Yes, I know. That's what I was saying. I was correcting myself because I did a fucky wucky.
But yeah, I think we could both agree, Sardo. Good first 2 episodes. I would say, I don't know how much is going to be adapted. I'm pretty sure it's going to be the first season's probably going to cover probably the first 4 volumes, maybe.
Makes sense.
I don't know how long the season's going to be. Is the only thing.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't read anything of that. Let me see if I can look it up. No, it doesn't say how long it's gonna last, so we don't know. I'm just guessing it's gonna go all the way up to. They did show a lot of the extended cast in the opening, so
Yeah.
so that's interesting. So I haven't read all of it, so I don't know when they show up, but it probably means that they're gonna show up relatively soon.
Be here for a little bit.
Yeah. We'll see. I don't know if it's going to cover the whole series. It's tough because like a lot of the chapters are very short.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. We'll see. What do you think, Sardo? You got any predictions?
This is a really it's like eating a nice hot bowl of soup. That's how I
Are you
feel.
saying it's like a giant scorpion hot pot?
Fuck yeah, it is. It's good soup.
It's good
I'm
soup.
really enjoying it so far. I love the tone. I think they nailed it. I know it's early to say, it's just 2 episodes in, but I'm feeling really optimistic, and I have been given no reason to feel otherwise. So
I'm pretty sure that it's gonna be good. Like it's the right people in the right spot doing the right things. Can't very few complaints. Let's see. Anything else to discuss about this? Opening's good. Ending's good. It definitely, the opening focuses on the trio of Fallen, Leos, and Marcille, and it's just like, show. I get that this is probably the one thing everyone likes about this series is these characters together, but you're not helping. You're not. Marcel is not beating the allegations of being extremely gay.
oh my god, they were roommates.
They were adventuring mates.
But I'm looking forward to their further adventures. I'm delighted. I'm really excited to see more of Chilchuck being like a nervous little mess underneath it all.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited for more of this. I can't really I don't think we can really stress this enough when we say this is probably going to be the only thing that's going to keep it from being remembered is that it's going to come out at like the start of the year.
Yeah.
Like that's going to
Fuck you,
be
it's January.
yeah. Fuck you, it's January indeed. Like, not saying that stuff can't be remembered for a whole year, but it's like, depending how good the year is.
Well, I'm going to make it my goal to make sure nobody can forget it because I'm not going to shut the fuck up about it.
Oh, no, I have a feeling it's going to make it to the end of the year very well loved and very, very well liked. It's that, you know, if it's a very crowded year, it could get pushed out from, like, our end of the year thing, but I don't think so. I think it's going to be pretty well liked. It's a good material, so it's not like, oh, it could like suddenly have a downturn.
Yeah.
Because that sometimes happens, especially with like original shows where like it starts really strong and then like the second half is just like, oh.
Yeah.
I remember that for Cabanari, the Iron Fortress, or whatever it was called.
Yeah.
Like, I remember when that started, and it's like, oh, this is really cool. And then it became Humans Are the Real Monster. I'm like, oh, yeah, okay, fine.
All right.
Yeah, I've been through this before. Thanks, guys. But yeah, so far, so good. It's been a very good, like, past 6 months for elf enjoyers. Like, it's that, Freerin, Shadowheart was here.
Yeah, congratulations, elf likers.
Elf lovers united. You've had like a lot. You've been eating for the past 6 months. Well done. You've been eating since August.
Yeah.
Like, damn. But in the end, that is Dungeon Messy, or Delicious in Dungeon. Fun little 2 episodes. We're definitely gonna still watch it. We're not gonna have like another episode on it probably, but we're still gonna be watching it. We're gonna probably bring it up in the Hell You Watching. Not this time though, because we just watched it.
Yes.
That would be silly.
Yeah, what the hell are you watching? Well, there's the anime I just watched 2 episodes of
it's just
right now with you there.
It's just the same episode. The whole conversation starts over again, like verbatim.
Fucking Groundhog Day loop butterfly effect type of shit.
I wish we could get away with that. I wish we could just like have. I mean, I could do this, but I'm too lazy to edit that. It'd be funny.
So, Stross, on that note, for real, what the hell are you watching?
Well, for starters, I haven't been watching a whole lot as of late. I'm still watching Freerin, and it's still been good. I watched like 2 episodes at a time because I want to watch more, so I'd give myself more. Also because I'm watching it dubbed, so that comes in a bit slower. Which means I've been taking my time with it, which I think is good. It has allowed me to ruminate on it.
Really digesting.
I've been Spy Family and Chainsaw Man are back, so I've been reading those again.
Fuck yeah.
And I've been playing a lot of Rogue Trader as I await the reckoning. That is Yakuza 8 Infinite Wealth, which you will hear about us talking about next week.
Soon.
As that week is when it comes out, and both of us will be like, this might destroy us emotionally. I've been streaming Cyberpunk 2077. That's been fun.
Yeah.
We saw the PP store.
We saw the PP store. That is a store that exists in Cyberpunk.
Yeah, and I didn't even notice it until I looked up at the side. I'm like, oh, hey, Sardo, look, it's the PP store. Lord howdy. But yeah, it's been pretty good. Been, chilling mostly.
Nice.
On stuff. I don't know, maybe going to start finally watching Blue-Eyed Samurai, which I said I was going to do like 3 months ago.
Yeah, I'm trying to find a place where I can watch that.
Yeah,
But
I've been trying to do so many things.
yeah.
There's not enough
As
time
for
in a day.
there's truly not.
Anyway, so
As
for you,
as for me, um, so what the hell I've been watching? I You saw this, Stross. I got for my birthday present to me. I got a cameo from Abdurak's voice actor. Let
excellent.
me double check. Did you see that? I shared it with the
I haven't
chat.
watched it yet, but I know you got it.
I got it, and it was fucking quick too. Shout out to Declan Paring, who is the guy who voiced our Mr. Abdurak Baldur's Gate 3. He also voiced Boney and Fezzik from the same games. Uh, I placed my cameo request about 9 o'clock this morning, and 15 minutes later, I get a
uh,
notification. Your
I
cameo's done. Check it out. And I watched it in the break room at work like an animal.
I like it's like, well, I'm gonna wait a couple. It's done. Oh, I
It's
guess
like,
he
all
wasn't.
right, yes.
I guess he was free today.
Dude is just it's smoking. He has been popping off the cameos and he does a good job. Very, very nice gentleman. So shout out to Declan Paring. I asked Abdurak, why are you shoes like that? And he answered.
What was his
Um
answer?
you'll have to watch the video and see. It's like 2 minutes.
Well, yeah, but not everyone knows what a cameo is. It's not for
Um,
me.
well, fun fact, I guess at least voice actor canon, it's he keeps nails in the soles of his shoes, which is why they're all like thick and peasanty, so he can like walk around with like nails digging into his feet all the time, which is some little freak behavior I'm totally supportive of. Um,
Uh,
anyway, I'm
uh,
also currently reading Junji Ito's adaptation of No Longer Human, which was originally a novel by Osamu Dazai. Extremely depressing book, really beautiful art. I read it last year and it's like, you know what? I want to go read it again this year. So I've been
uh,
doing that. Uh, really good to read if you feel like being very sad about things. So,
uh,
ah,
I'm gonna be at some point reading the Tale of Genji, and hopefully this year, finally just gonna suck it up and read it myself. Sardo, my copy's paperback. I feel like I could kill a man with it.
no.
It's really thick. It's like 1,000 pages long. And that's before you get to like all the footnotes.
Hmm.
There's a lot. It's really big. It's a terror. It's a terror. It's a big old boy. But yeah, so that's basically what we've been up to. It's a bit of a short episode, one of our shortest episodes by the looks of things. So,
Yeah,
anything else you want to talk about, Sardo, before we go?
I think that's about it for me.
Oh wow. You've obviously been enjoying the cyberpunking. Have you
Oh yeah, it's been fun.
have you gotten over the death of your boy Jackie?
I mean, I'm sad, but I kind of saw it coming.
Yeah. But now you've met Mean Keanu. How you been feeling about that?
I love him. I love him so much. I hope Keanu had so much fun being Johnny Silverhand.
Yeah, looks like it because he was absolutely willing to go back for the DLC.
I hope he had the time of his life. It's so fun seeing him playing a mean character.
It is. It is.
But yeah, I'm excited to see what the future holds for that.
And
And that's
anyway, folks, I feel like that's basically an episode. So before we log off and tell you to do things, go watch Delicious in Dungeon. It's on
yeah,
Netflix.
it's good stuff.
Good stuff. And as always, you can find Sardo at Autopsy Garlands on Twitter, Mark Belial for the art
Hey.
account, Uncle Death with a K both on Twitch and on Blue Sky. Streams Monday at 8:30 p.m. EST, 6:30 p.m. Mountain Time, and 5:30 p.m. Pacific. I stream on Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday at the exact same time.
Yeah.
8:30 p.m., 6:30 p.m. / 5:30 p.m. I don't broadcast towards Central, apparently. Central Time doesn't exist in this universe.
Yes.
Kidding, obviously. I'm at all my Stross across the board on Twitch, Blue Sky, and Twitter. I hope you all have a wonderful evening as Sarah and I are going to go, watch a puppy getting groomed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The girl with the dogs.
Literally, that's the next thing we're going to be doing. So bye, everyone.
Bye.